Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, this is something that I call curating the labels. This is when I talk about a particular label, show you some releases, play a little bit of music, and hopefully I get you interested in the label and curious about the bands. The label I'm starting off with, since this show is called Curating the Labels, I'm going to start off with Curation Records. Great label. Now, a month or two back, I did a video about the Uni Boys, and the Uni Boys just absolutely amazing. That's what really made me pay attention to this label. And I'm going to put a link to that video. I'm not going to talk about the Uni Boys here, but if you're into great power pop, definitely check them out. I've got a small little stack here. They're in no order, but I'm going to go through them. I'm going to start off with Beachwood Sparks. Beachwood Deluxe. Now, this Beachwood Sparks album actually came out, I believe, in the year 2000, or actually their self-titled album did. And then there was a double vinyl LP version that had a bonus disc with bonus tracks, and that is what's on this CD called Beachwood Deluxe. And I'll tell you, this is a super fascinating band. I knew Beachwood Sparks when that first album came out. In fact, it's really funny. I was going to a voiceover audition, and I was driving down the street, and I saw, oh, there's Beachwood. Oh, and there's Sparks. And I go, that's obviously where they came up with the name. And then, of course, then I found out later that that was true. But this is a wonderful, gosh, a mixture of, it's indie rock or indie pop, very melodic, but you're also getting stabs of, 60s garage and psychedelic. They're all over the map. One of those bands that they go into the studio and they say, well, let's just do this. And they do that, and the next day they go to the studio and they do something completely different, and a really fascinating band. And to get a CD of bonus tracks that sounds like a proper album is pretty darn impressive. So this is Beachwood Sparks, Beachwood Deluxe.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it sounds like. This is what it feels like. Fell into a midsummer daydream. Saw things in a different way, not as they seemed. I followed the North Star as far as I could in my car. Then I turned on the radio.
Now here's one for the Beatles fans. It is called George is Lord. Now this band was started because Anna Pomerantz wanted to learn how to play drums. And her friend Lindsay Glover started teaching her about playing drums, and then started teaching her about playing songs. And then they ended up playing George Harrison songs, and that led to this project, which is them covering all George Harrison songs. Now the writing on the back is too light for you to see there, so I'll try to get that in there so you can see. Try to get that to focus. I don't know if it will, but it has both Beatles songs and solo songs. Now, they're not copying the George Harrison songs. It's very laid back indie. It's rock, but it's also got some atmosphere in there. Look, if you're going to do a cover of a song, then make it your own, and they certainly make it their own. The group is called George is Lord, and the album is called My Sweet George.
Give me life, keep me
This next release is an album that came out in 2023. It's by Those Pretty Wrongs. This is singer-songwriter Luther Russell, who was, I think, in like the Freewheelers or something. And he's been in, he's put out a couple solo albums, stuff. He's been around since, gosh, the 90s or so, maybe even earlier than that. And the other member of this band is Jody Stevens from Big Star. So that's got to get people going, whoa, got to check that out. Those Pretty Wrongs. It doesn't sound like Big Star. It's not power pop. It's kind of Americana power pop. Very melodic, very hooky. It's got some great harmonies. And this is a very fine album featuring those two talented artists, Luther Russell and Jody Stevens of Big Star. The album is called Holiday Camp, and the group is, again, Those Pretty Wrongs.
And this new September song is coming on, coming on. And this new September song is coming on. Always the rainbow, never the promises. Always the rainbow, not the promises. My heart is a paper cup. Fill it up, don't tear it up. My heart is a paper cup. Yeah, fill it up. How we look.
Now, if I said the words cosmic pop, you may not really know what I'm talking about, but once you hear Farmer Dave and the Wizards of the West, you'll know this is absolute cosmic pop. It is so varied and so absolutely out there in the cosmos that it becomes riveting as well as catchy. I mean, the songs are all long. It sounds like they're born from cosmic jams, and it mixes, indie rock with some prog, with just a whole bunch of styles. Like I said, it's Farmer Dave and the Wizards of the West. The album is called Second Summer, and it is really just a fascinating listen. And I was picking out these great little hooks and melodies. And like I said, when a song goes on for like 8 minutes, it doesn't get boring. It's something that you can put on in the background and enjoy, but you're really going to at least the first couple listens to put it right in front of you and just to turn it up, because it's a really, really fine album. Farmer Dave and the Wizards of the West, Second Summer. Now, this next one is singer-songwriter Eric Silverman and an album called Stay In It. This is fascinating because it seems like every song is different. Yeah, he's a singer-songwriter, but his approach to each song is different from the one before, but it all is very, very cohesive. It's melodic, it's hooky. When I'm talking about pop and melodic and hooky, in a perfect world, this would be top 40, but it's not top 40, but it's something that indie kids are going to get into. It's not power pop, nor is it power pop adjacent, but it's just really great, melodic, kind of quirky, eccentric, eclectic pop. There's some prog elements there in the middle of one or two songs, but then there's country and there's rock, and yeah, it's just really an absolutely fascinating record. Eric Silverman, Stay In It, released in 2023.
When you fall
couple decades, Americana has been very, very popular. A lot of the bands, like Wilco, Fleet Foxes, just tons of artists, Jayhawks, all these bands, selling, bringing in audiences, and just turning people on to some great roots American rock. Well, one of the bands called Pacific Range. This is an album called High Upon the Mountain. And this, when you think about country rock and Americana, sometimes you go back to the Byrds and Michael Nesmith and Ricky Nelson, things like that. This is kind of more based in that kind of country rock, but it's very sparse and it doesn't sound like it's aping that, but you can hear they have this tendency to dip in and out of, rock riffs and stuff, but it's still very, very, very country rock. There's a lot of sonic spaces in there that your imagination, your mind will fill in these blanks, and it just takes the music up one notch. And those sonic spaces are usually very emotional too. So you attach to these songs, and Pacific Range, it's just a great batch of songs. Gatefold Jacket. I was immediately drawn to this record. Really fantastic. Pacific Range, and the album is called High Upon the Mountain.
Gotta go and ease our minds. Focus on just being kind. Go down to the water. Don't let the glare be all you see. You see, I see you through these eyes. I do. Running through the groves in the sun. I love you and you know that it's true. Laughing rainbows for everyone.
One of Curation's most popular bands, GospelBeach, they're coming out with a brand new album in 2024, but this here is something that came out in 2021, I think, and it's the Jam Jam EP, and that came out separately, I think, on vinyl and digital, and then they had a live album called Once Upon a Time in London, and that might have been digital only, I think, I'm not sure, but they combined them both on one CD, and there you go there's the covers of each. I mean, this is trippy hippie, it's got glam in there, it's got just great 70s chord changes that sound like they're straight from AM radio. It's got all this great influences, and it's all running concurrently and stepping over each other and really sounding absolutely wonderful. Like I said, they have a brand new album coming out in 2024. They're a super popular indie band, and people are just eagerly anticipating the album. But if you haven't heard them yet, definitely check this out. GospelBeach, it's the Jam Jam EP plus Once Upon a Time in London, and that came out in 2021 on Curation Records.
Kiss me and smother.
Finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about. Okay. I purposely say this for last. Everything else was just random, but this one I wanted to talk about last because it is so absolutely stunningly beautiful, wonderful. It is the first solo album from Thomas Walsh. It's called The Rest is History. It came out in 2023. Thomas Walsh was the main guy behind the band Pugwash, and they've got a bunch of great albums that you need to check out. If you love ELO meets XTC meets Beatles meets jangly 60s pop meets every other kind of great pop music. Almost nobody out there doing it as well as Thomas Walsh is doing it. This is his latest album. It is The Rest is History, jam-packed full of pop goodness. So yes, this is just an absolutely incredible album. One of the best albums of 2023, to be perfectly honest. Thomas Walsh, The Rest is History.
And I am under no illusions that this fusion of the good and bad, being happy when I'm sad, is always the way it must be. It's a good day for me. Take your time to decide to be mine. Take your time. Well, we just couldn't say all the wrong wasn't right. How we looked in the dark for a flicker of light. So sad, but yet so true. We knew.
And that's it with Curation Records. I don't have enough money to buy everything on the label, but when I come across it or when I can afford it, I will be buying more and maybe do another part of this. But I just wanted you to be aware of the label. I'm going to put a link to Curation Records Bandcamp page in the comments below, along with my video about Uniboys. This is all great, wonderful stuff. I've got other labels I'm going to be talking about in the future, including Omnivore. Oh my gosh. Subjangle. Oh, just so many great labels to talk about, so much great music to talk about. I'll never run out of ideas, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Remember to check out Curation Records, and remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.